Hey Siri, turn on all office equipment. Hey, what's up guys? I'm in the home office. It's 12 p.m. I've done a sprint of work already. What does that entail? Removing blockers for my team. If they have any questions or feedback, then I try to help them with that. And then really it's just planning my week and day. I'll be mostly on Notion and getting all of my high priority tasks for my main company, Glorify, all scheduled in and organized. I also have my personal brand, Build with Omar. So my YouTube content, my Instagram content, organizing the week for that as well. Everything's great on Notion, but I want them to be more actionable. So I use Blitzit, which is our productivity tool that we're building with my other team. A couple of colleagues and myself, we're building this little tool over here. As you can see, the focus timer that is running the current task for 3 hours. I hope to finish this in. It's a floating timer that sits on top of any window that you work on. You can pause it, you can run it, you can take notes, you can take a break. And essentially, if I expand it, I have my entire list over here. You can run the timer from, let's say your estimated time that you would take for a task, or you can run a Pomodoro, or you can simply track your time that you spent on the task. Depends on you, what you prefer for your workflow. We've integrated Google Calendar with this. We've integrated at beta right now. We have Notion as well. So everything's kind of organized over here. I know more or less I should take about 6 hours to finish my day. So I've got these 3 high priority tasks that I have to execute, and let's see, I hope I get them all done. What are we actually working on? We're working on the Glorify and Contra campaign. Contra is an amazing platform for hiring out experts as well as experts finding new opportunities. What's really interesting about them is that they really focus on giving so much value because they don't charge any commissions, and also they have dedicated expert programs for the various platforms that you have skills in. And so what we want to do is create a dedicated expert program for Glorify, so that we create this ecosystem where our users that are passionate about Glorify can apply to be an expert. I've got a Contra profile myself. I've also had a couple of freelance gigs on Contra. It's an amazing platform. We want to list Glorify on the platform as a supporting tool that people can use to kind of, position themselves and as an expert of, and for that we have to create an entire application process. So we've been working with the Contra team on Slack. We're paying a subscription with them to run the expert program, and they've been super helpful. They're really, really amazing team. And the cool thing about Contra is that they will actually co-launch the program with us. But before we even get to that step, we have a few responsibilities on our side, which is we need a minimum of 10 experts. So to get those first 10 experts, we're going to be creating profiles ourselves as a team. We'll get some of our power users to create, maybe some friends to create profiles. Just to get that 10, we can then do the campaign with them. And hopefully, with the campaign, we can create this amazing ecosystem where users of Glorify can list their expertise and be positioned as a Glorify expert. And any clients seeking out services from people that have great depth of knowledge and expertise in Glorify, they can use Contra to hire out those experts, right? And so this in turn should create more opportunities for us as a company as well, because we've created the ecosystem, thereby, business owners get value, freelancers get value. Being very early stage startup, revenue is really important for us. Raised, of course, our seed round now 2021. It's been a couple of years, and we are running on reserves at the moment. So we have to be very kind of selective about what kind of campaigns we want to run. Last week, we ran a product hunt campaign for the release of an animation feature. It took us maybe 3 days at most to launch that campaign. I would consider that a successful campaign. There was definitely ROI in that, because now people are educated that Glorify finally has animation inbuilt to our infinite canvas design tool, which we're very proud of. The Contra campaign, we feel, I think the co-launch is going to be really amazing, and I'm very excited to see the opportunity that comes from that. But it's also unpredictable, just like with any kind of launch campaign. But on our side, what we actually have to do is launch the campaign internally with our users. And to do that, we have to create some marketing material. There's going to be a newsletter. We design our newsletter on Strippo. Strippo is an amazing platform for designing newsletters. So I'll quickly show you that. So we're going to educate our users about the new Contra expert program. They can learn about how to become part of it. We might also incentivize our user base to actually apply for the program and perhaps create a contest. We're just playing around with ideas yet. let's see if we go for that. We might tweak this, but essentially we'll have a video over here. This is me speaking to our users, sort of an announcement video. I have to produce that video in my studio. So one of the things I need to do is freshen up. I'm going to have a quick trim and shave, and then I'll get back into the studio, script it, record it. Then we can launch a newsletter. We'll launch also social media materials across all our various channels. That will kind of finalize the kind of internal launch. Then we will start onboarding experts throughout the week as well. Next up, we also have a really important task, which is to finalize the pages. So here's the expert program page. We've got these mock-ups of the expert cards that would live on Contra, just to kind of give people that sense of vision of creating a profile and excite them. And then we have the steps, making it really simple on how to become an expert. So step 1, step 2, step 3, and why they should apply. And then we have a little bit of an FAQ. We also have a dedicated partner page as well that centralizes all the different ways you can earn money with Glorify. I think we're almost done with the graphics over here. There's a couple of more things that need updated. So pages, newsletter, video. Those are the 3 main tasks. That's pretty much my week. To get this campaign going, I would really like, the campaign to be live by maximum end of the week. Let's see if we manage to pull that off or not. And then perhaps maybe the launch can happen next week, right? Then that's it. We've got the information on our website, and we'll probably every newsletter moving forwards, we'll kind of have a dedicated section reminding them about the expert program and encouraging them always in our newsletters to sign up.
How does that look? More professional?
All right, so it's script time. We need to create a script for the Contra campaign. One of the ways I like doing that is with ChatGPT as a starting point. I'm creating a script. So I'm launching my startup Glorify on Contra as an available platform for people to list as an expert of. We just want to create a promo video for our users to educate them about the Contra Glorify opportunity.
That sounds like an exciting opportunity. Let's create a script for your promo video.
To see the script that I just came up with. I like the script. I just want to add a couple of more points. How long does the script take to read out loud?
The script takes approximately 1 minute and 52 seconds to read out loud. Does that work for you?
I want to bring it down to 1 minute.
Let's tighten the script to fit within 1 minute.
Great. Thank you, ChatGPT.
You're welcome, Omar. If you need any more help, feel free to ask. Good luck with the promo video and the launch on Contra.
Why isn't she nice? We've got the script drafted at least, so I'm gonna go and tweak it. I've got my iPad here, the cool thing with the macOS system, right? Just gonna go whoop right there, and we're gonna copy both scripts essentially. Copy that, and let's move that into my Notion. Cool, all right, time to tweak it to adjust it to how I prefer, and then we'll record the video. All right, so I'm done with my draft script on Notion. Essentially restructured it, added some more information. So I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to essentially take my revised version, keep the same structure and style, and just improve it and make it concise where possible. Now it's just about popping that over into the teleprompter app I use on my phone, which is really convenient. So the way I record my content is I smack this on a tripod. I set the camera to selfie mode. Typically keep it at 60 frames just to get the best quality possible. I typically use cinematic mode, so I get a nice bokeh blur in the background. And I'll also use this little app over here called Teleprompter. It's a very simple app. What it does is it allows you to upload your script, and it creates a floating teleprompter, as you can see over here. And you can control this with your smartwatch as well. So I'll be recording myself like that, and then I can pop the teleprompter like that to read. I just have to change the orientation from vertical to horizontal. Got full control of the teleprompter via my Apple Watch, which is really, really convenient. So I can control, if I made a mistake, I can go a few sentences behind and start again. Yeah, this is my workflow. So let's get started.
All right, so finished the script, then went on to have a quick 30-minute break, having lunch. I was just watching a bit of YouTube during that, and I follow El Estabario, who's the famous YouTuber. Finished watching that. The missus made this gorgeous watermelon juice, super refreshing for especially when the weather is this hot. Also, when I'm going to be recording this new video, I'll have to switch off the aircon because it makes too much noise, background noise. We can't have that, so it's going to get really hot in here. That said, let's jump into the production piece. Hey Glorious community, it's Omar, CEO of Glorify here with exciting news. All right, so that video was recorded. I think it's okay. I tried a new angle, something that looks a bit unique, because sometimes people get desensitized to your content if it's always the same format. So I like to break it up with different angles and shots. So, once they see it, they kind of recognize it as this new, fresh content. And I guess that kind of, in the psychology of the viewer, they, more compelled to watch it. And that's the cool thing about, just my iPhone workflow is that I've got the video inside my iPhone. It's just now about using AirDrop to push it over to my laptop. I hope that do this in 3 hours, but we're running on our last 38 minutes. Let's see if we can knock out this video in 38 minutes. I'll be really happy if we did. All right, so Monday evening, just doing a quick retrospective of the day. Was I able to accomplish everything I needed to accomplish? I always say if you crush Monday, you crush the entire week because you get ahead of the game. I feel like I've done a lot, but I wish I did a little bit more. And I think that's just how I am. That's very typical of me where, every time I do a retrospective of the day, I feel like I could have accomplished a little bit more. I have very high expectations for myself. Very rarely accomplish everything I set out to accomplish in a single day, but maybe you guys can decide. So we were able to accomplish the Contra script. We were able to nail that down. Based on that script, we recorded the video for the Contra campaign. I did a little bit of editing for my creator, paid collaboration with the brand Mopac. Mopac make really cool urban style bags. That video was released. It's getting some engagement now, so I'm really happy with that. And of course, unblocked a bunch of blockers for my team. And also had a meeting with our lead developer to discuss some issues when it comes to like the UX of our app, and we were able to solve those. So look, I think maybe, I know I said you guys can decide. I think looking now, narrating all of those bits, I feel like I've had a productive day. Plus I was able to record this vlog. But look, let's see how the rest of the Contra campaign comes together, because there's so much more to do. All right, so it's Wednesday, and I think we're coming to the end of completing all the campaign assets. Currently editing the main promo video for the Contra launch campaign on Premiere Pro. Most of the videos on pretty much put together. I'll just quickly give it a quick play. Exciting news. Glorify is now on Contra, offering you the chance to become a Glorify expert and unlock a new earning opportunity. Yeah, so that's a little preview of the video. There's a few little bits I have to put into this before I complete it 100%. And hopefully by next week, this campaign should be on the way. All right, so it's Thursday morning, 10:30 a.m. So yesterday we were able to get most of the campaign, the Contra Glorify campaign, on the way. We did a soft launch with our user base. So we've done what we can as a soft launch. We messaged our power users. We've got the campaign on the way. I've put it on Discord as well. I've put it on Twitter. I've put it on the Facebook group. The only thing that's probably remaining is a Facebook page post and maybe an Instagram post. But really the last steps is just get that webinar date sorted and announce the webinar so that people can get educated on the opportunity further. Why 10 experts are needed to get everything moving is because Contra do co-launches with any tool that gets listed on their platform. So we're paying Contra a subscription to be listed on their platform so people can discover us and become experts and run the expert program. Of course, that's the main reason. Not only is it, of course, going to make our experts page look attractive rather than just having two of Glorify's main team members, which I'm sure a lot of our users are aware we are the team members of Glorify. It's better to have, no doubt, actual experts, right? How far are we from that? We just put out the post yesterday. We'll see if, we get some traction the rest of the week. So that's pretty much it. We just need to refine the website, refine some parts of the landing pages, connect it all together, set up a potential co-hosted webinar with the Contra team, reach out to the power users and get them to apply ASAP. And as a back pocket strategy, we'll probably raffle out $100 to those who apply and select 10 winners. All right, so let's see if we can add a bit more fuel to this campaign. I know I've said this a lot on my channel, but my workflow wouldn't be the same without Framer, because with Framer, we're literally creating campaigns super, super fast just because of how easy is it to knock out pages on Framer. I mean, look, I've just knocked out this form using Framer's native form component. So all the call to actions on the partner page are solid, they're functioning. But this last call to action where we want to attract what we call Glorify ambassadors, who are essentially influencers that potentially have a following that likes Glorify, who uses Glorify, and they could potentially promote us to their audience. So we're incentivizing them, also requesting them to reach out to us with their name, email, and how many followers. There might be a few more questions I want to ask, like maybe what is their best or primary social media account, for example, so we can kind of dig into those. And then we can have a discussion over email. So here's a form, got name, email, and how many followers. For this option selection, I might give some pre-selections. For example, let's say we want a minimum of 1,000 followers, right? So 1,000 to 10,000 followers. So great, so 50,000 to 100,000 plus, and the first one is a default. Now it's time for my form setup. Setting up Framer forms again is super easy. We just set a send to method. So maybe we can do this based on email, so then I get notifications directly to me. So I'm going to type my email here, and we'll add also Google Sheets. Now let's name the sheet. We'll call it Glorify Ambassador. So not only am I getting an email notification every time submits this form, but I'm also listing all those leads on a Google Sheets, which is really, really convenient. Great, so that's done. Let's go ahead and test this out. So here's the form. It's live on the site. I'm gonna just quickly use my own email. So Omar, and we'll do 10,000 to 20,000 followers. Let's hit submit. Okay, something's wrong here. It's clearly forgot to set the button states, so really important. So it probably did submit the form, but I don't have a loading state set, so I'm going to set the loading state to loading, and I'm going to set the success state to success. Now it should work. I'm going to hit update. There we go. So that is the success state. Loads, and then a thank you. So there we are. We got the submission. Amazing. So 2 submissions. Those are the last 2 submissions I made, and we should also have a Google Sheet. There we are. It's right there. Really cool system that Framer has set up. Makes lead capture super easy. All right, so we've pretty much finished most of the tasks. Done the copy for the entire partner page. I've set up the form. So that's all been set up with the relevant links. The form, as we went through earlier, is all set up and functioning. The images have been updated with the relevant copy. Oh, I just have to update the copy over here. Forgot that one. Right, so copy updated there. I think these images look fantastic. They're very compelling. And the second step was to outreach to our power users. These are our team members. Our profiles are up on the Contra page already. I've reached out to these individuals so far. Okay, so now that we've got all the kind of partner page deliverables, the copy for the expert page, the copy for the partner page, the fact that we've done all of that, we can now mark this task as done on Blitzit. So I'm 4 hours over. It just took me a little bit of extra time just to finesse things. So maybe I had to estimate my timelines a bit better, but let's mark this as done. And there's Joey. He's happy that we made it. However, it's important to note we finished 163 minutes late. So let's move on to the next task. In fact, you know what? Before I take the next task, I'm going to take a break. 15 minutes is solid. All right, so this is week 2, setting up the Glorify Contra campaign. We got a bit delayed. So originally we weren't meant to send the newsletter out last week. We got a bit delayed because of various blockers. We're back on track now, and we've got a new date to launch the webinar on the 30th of August. I'm just setting up the webinar right now on StreamYard. This is a webinar delivery platform that we use. So it handles the live stream, and it also publishes the stream on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram automatically. So this has all been set up, and it works really well. Highly recommend this platform. Yeah, so we got the webinar scheduled for 30th of August. We're going to have one of the Contra team members join, Alison. She'll be joining the webinar to talk about Contra and the opportunity on Contra. And so hopefully this partnership will create this amazing ecosystem for our users where they can earn money using their skill sets. I think it's very important to also, have a very thriving ecosystem at Glorify. We do have some challenges there. Of course, we're, struggling with trying to get product market fit, but we do have a very passionate user base. So we're hoping we can leverage that and make the most out of this campaign. So date is set to Wednesday, 30th of August, 7:30 p.m. I'm going to set this up now. So I've added the thumbnail, as you can see. And this is the on-air webinar setup page. We'll go ahead and click create. Now, once this webinar has been created for the scheduled time, it essentially creates a landing page to take in registrations. And what we typically do is we publish the registration form on our website via a embed component on our Framer site. So to do this, we simply go over here. We click share, I believe. There we go. And so this is to share with viewers. We can either send them directly to the StreamYard page, but what we prefer to do is use the embed form. Go to Glorify. We'll then set up a webinar page right here. So here's our previous webinars. It's kind of automated through the CMS, which is very helpful. We've done a bunch of different webinars in the past. So we'll go ahead and publish this in the CMS, and this will then go live. And once we're done, we'll link this newsletter to the webinar page so they can find out more about it. And let's see, hopefully this turns out to be a successful campaign by educating them about the opportunity, motivating them to become a Glorify expert. So let's see if we get there. All right, so it's the 29th of August. We've had a bunch of delays. So far still, we only have 4 experts within the Glorify expert page on Contra. As mentioned, for them to do a cross campaign, we need 10 experts. And that's why we're doing the webinar tomorrow in collaboration with the Contra team. We have Alison Nolte joining the webinar tomorrow to explain the benefits of the Contra platform. And then we'll talk about the Glorify expert program and the benefits of that. And hopefully that will sign up a few users. So really excited about that. This is the newsletter going out today for reminding people about the webinar tomorrow, Friday at 7:30 p.m. That's UK. There's Alison Nolte. So super grateful for them to agree to do the webinar with me tomorrow. We've got a few registrants already. I'm hoping we'll have about 400 registrants by the end of the day. 50% of them will attend. And then we'll repurpose the webinar across all our socials to continue the education and inform the users about this opportunity. I really hope we secure our 10 experts by mid-September, and that way we can start the Contra cross campaign. So let's see if we get there. By tomorrow after the webinar, I'll tell you the results of the webinar, and perhaps when we do hit our 10 expert milestone, I'll circle back and do another video documenting the cross campaign with Contra. So let's see how this webinar goes.
Ultimately, all of these steps will be required to complete your profile, but once your profile is completed, you will then be showcased on our Discover feed. So as I shared before, that enables you to get in front of clients and have clients view your work and get in touch with you to hire you. We have a completely free invoicing tool that allows you to generate an invoice to any client, whether they are on Contra or off of Contra. They can pay you through Contra without creating any sort of account, and your funds will come directly to your wallet on Contra that you can ultimately get paid out from.
To apply is really straightforward. Alison already walked us through the platform. You of course have to create your Contra profile. Specifically at Glorify, to earn your expert badge, you would need 2 Glorify related projects, contribute at least 1 template to our template marketplace. And this is exclusively for Glorify experts that apply, is that we will offer you guys a 50% lifetime discount. Awesome, thank you so much, Alison. So that's ended. We're not live anymore. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. All right, so it's been 1 week since the live webinar. I would say because it was summertime, I think a lot of people were on holiday, so the turnout wasn't great. We had a handful of people there, but oftentimes we see this, we're not expecting a lot from a turnout perspective. But what's more important, what happens after the webinar, is how we then trim down the entire webinar, trim down all the unnecessary fat and get to the core value of the webinar itself. And then we'll redistribute that through newsletters, through our social channels, etc. But since the webinar, because it was live streamed, it was not just a signed up and attendance webinar. It was also streamed on YouTube, on Facebook and LinkedIn. There's my promo video talking about the opportunity. That's had about 481 views. And there's the webinar. It's slowly picking up some views, not tons on YouTube, but at least that exists for people to go check out. We also have the one on LinkedIn, which had a bit of engagement too. And then finally as well on our Facebook community group. Scroll down, there you go. So that's the Facebook version. What's really cool is that after this webinar was on a Friday. The week following that Friday, we had one person apply to our Glorify Expert program, Margareta Digore. She seems like a cool creator. She's listed a bunch of projects done with Glorify, including some other software too, such as the Adobe Suite. There you go, there's a Glorify mockup. And there's another Glorify animated logo. So really proud to see that. And so we got the notification after she had requested us to offer her the Glorify Expert badge. And since she had 2 great projects posted on her profile, we were happy to give her the expert badge. And so there's the expert badge, as you can see. And on top of that, she's a Contra freelancer that's earned over $1,000 now. And because she was able to achieve those results, we found this as an exciting opportunity to highlight that to our Glorify community within the Facebook group. And so I made a post about this yesterday saying Margareta has already earned her Glorify Expert badge and has crossed $1,000 in earnings on Contra. Because she's one of the first 10 to apply, she now secures her spot at the top 10, which means that we will feature her on our dedicated Glorify Expert page. We'll highlight up to 10, maybe more in the future, but starting off the first 10 that apply and successfully achieve their Glorify Expert badge, we'll showcase them right here. And this will be linked to their Contra profile. So this is essentially free traffic for anyone seeking out their services. So this is our application process to become a Glorify Expert. If I go to this to see Glorify's current expert network, this will take us to the dedicated expert network page within Contra. And there's Margareta along with me and some of our other team members. Now, as far as if there's any other founders that are curious about the opportunity on Contra and whether or not listing their platform or tool on Contra or getting into this partnership with Contra to create this expert program for their own platforms and create this ecosystem of freelancers and experts, is it worth it? Well, we haven't done the code campaign as mentioned. We have to hit our first 10 freelancers within our dedicated experts page on Contra to then launch the code campaign with Contra. And I think that's where we'll really truly know, how powerful this partnership can be. But even with that out of the way, honestly, I think this is a huge opportunity. Contra is the only commission-free freelancing platform that exists, and they're bringing tons of value to the freelance community. I truly believe that. And the Contra team are very, supportive throughout the entire process. They're always giving us ideas. They want to make sure that we hit our first 10 as fast as possible and how to nurture our users within the expert program. And so that's super valuable. They have tons of cool case studies of other startups that have worked with them to create their own expert programs. So I definitely think that if you can make an expert program, definitely if you're building a design tool like us or some kind of creation building tool, if you think your user base can benefit from a expert program and create that sort of freelance ecosystem, then I definitely recommend doing it with Contra. Yeah, so look, that's it for this vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And most likely very soon in a future vlog, I'll cover what was the outcome of this Contra campaign. So stay tuned and never stop building.